Okay, Rafa, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Silvia, and thank you also, Enrique, for to be here and to introduce me. Thank you also all of you for to be here with me again. And as usual, I am going to share my screen with you, and I am going to mm, start with the module 2.6. This is my screen. First, I am going to, as always, to sit the today's season. Today's season is the unit 2.6, and we today we are going to integrate our basic challenge-based learning methodology with the companies. We are going to talk about work-based learning because all the materials that students can use and teachers also can use in challenge-based learning methodology, the best idea is to be connected with the companies, with the specialties of the student of each school. In our case, mainly with health and social service companies. Uh, Through the contact with companies, we can obtain a very good challenge in order to be solved by students in a TASI methodology. Because of that, in the course, you will get this unit 2.6. Today we are going to make the synchronous season, and we are going to talk about work spaces, work-based learning inside the challenge-based learning methodology TASI. First, as usual, I am going to start with a little video about the season.
Module 2.6 and Session 1, WBL Models and Learning Agreements. Hello everyone, welcome back. In Module 2.5, we focused on improving our classroom challenge packs through testing, feedback, and iteration. Now in Module 2.6, we take the next step. We extend the learning beyond the classroom and into the workplace through work-based learning, or WBL. Today's key idea is simple. WBL is not sending students to a company. WBL is learning by design, structured, intentional, and aligned with assessment. First, what WBL really means in challenge-based learning. Let's clarify the difference. A placement is an experience, but Design WBL is a learning strategy. Design WBL means students do real work tasks in real context, supported by mentoring, and the work produces evidence that connects clearly to learning outcomes and rubrics. So the big word for today is traceability. Can we trace a workplace task back to a learning outcome and forward to accessible evidence? Section 2, why integrate WBL with ITASI style challenges? There are 4 strong reasons. First, authenticity. Workplace contexts bring real constraints, stakeholders, deadlines, and standards. Second, evidence. Workplace artifacts can feed your challenge rubrics, reports, prototypes, client communication, checklists, logs. Third, employability. Students build routines, professional communication, teamwork behaviors, and identity. Fourth, entrepreneurship. WBL can trigger opportunity spotting, initiative, and value creation, and not just doing tasks. 3, the main WBL models and how to choose. In this session, we work with a practical set of WBL models, for example, internship and apprenticeship or the dual model. Also, project-based collaboration, mentored micro WBL, and hybrid models adapted to your program. How do we choose the best model? Use 3 decision questions. What outcomes must be evidenced? What workplace access do we realistically have? And what level of mentoring can the company provide? Your goal is not the most ambitious model. Your goal is the most workable model that still produces strong evidence. Section 4, roles and responsibilities, the architecture. WBL succeeds or fails on roles. So we define responsibilities clearly across 3 sides: school, company, and learner. The school aligns tasks with outcomes, provides rubrics and evidence criteria, and monitors quality and safety. The company provides meaningful tasks, gives feedback and supervision, and validates evidence when needed. The learner performs tasks, documents evidence, asks for feedback, and connects that evidence back to outcomes. When roles are unclear, WBL is random experience. When roles are clear, WBL becomes learning with purpose. 5. The learning agreement, the key tool. A learning agreement is your anchor document. It's a bridge between outcomes, tasks, supervision, evidence, and assessment. A strong agreement includes placement, scope, and duration, the WBL model chosen, expected tasks, and supervision responsibilities. It also specifies evidence collection, feedback schedules, and what happens if the plan needs to change. Think of it like this. If a student asks, how will this be assessed? The learning agreement should answer that clearly. Section 6, feedback cadence. Don't leave it to chance. Feedback in WBL must be planned, not hoped for. Follow the loop, plan, do, evidence, feedback, and improve. A simple cadence could be a short weekly check-in, a midpoint review, and a final evidence validation moment. Even 5 minutes of regular feedback linked to evidence can massively increase learning quality. 7, the WBL integration map, the final output. The WBL integration map answers what workplace tasks produce what evidence, and where does that evidence land in assessment. This map connects tasks to rubric criteria and portfolio locations. This is how WBL becomes part of your pedagogy, not just administration. To wrap up, today we moved from WBL as logistics to WBL as learning design. You now have the foundations to choose a model, define roles, draft a learning agreement, and map evidence. In the next session, we'll go deeper into mentoring and evidence collection. Thanks for being here, and let's build WBL that works.
Very well. This is the introduction to the module, and now we are going to see the presentation of the unit. This is module 2.6. We are going to work, as the introduction said, about work-based learning in embed education. I'm going to see all the screen. The first thing we have to keep in mind is what is work-based learning. Work-based learning is a methodology that you can use inside a TASI methodology or challenge-based learning methodology, creating challenge based in the information of the companies. What companies? The companies have to be the same companies, our students, the future workers, they will be in future workers of them, from them. And the methodology is very easy. The companies, if you are connected with the companies, we have 2 or 3 kinds of relationships. The first relationship sometimes is to provide students in order to make their practice in companies. Also, the companies can have relationships with you throughout when they need workforce for their companies. And sometimes also they have connection with the school in methodologies, in educative methodologies, because the company can collaborate with the school, making real situations challenge in order to be used by the school in the education of the student. That is the case we are going to talk today. We are going to talk about the relationship with the companies in the way they provide activities to be solved in the TASI methodology. This is a kind of bridge between the reality, the school, and the companies. How can we design this relationship? In the module 2.5, we talk about the methodology, about the challenge-based learning methodology. And in the 2.6, the present module, we are going to talk about how to integrate the challenge based in the company's information in the curricula in the activities of the school, in the training of the students. And finally, we will have to evaluate, to assess, and mentor the solution of the challenge made by students in order to evaluate all the process. That is more or less the simple scheme. What is work-based learning? Work-based learning is not a placement, it's a design. This is not a practicing company because probably, as you know perfectly, the best way to learn anything is to work with a real case inside the companies. But this is not the case. This is work-based learning. We have to design a kind of activities, or in this case, will be challenge based in the work activities of companies for our students. This is a pedagogic focus activity. Is experiential and is based in the evidence that the students have to obtain in the solution of the challenge. This is a very well structured experiential learning activity. What are the 4 pillars of the work-based learning? To be a good activity, to be successful for students and also for teachers, and also finally for the companies, because at the end, the companies will incorporate some of these students as workers. The 4 activities or the 4 basics for the work-based learning in a very good structured activity are: the work have to be authenticity. What is that? This is a real activity inside the company. Other very important thing is that the students have to obtain evidence from the solution of the challenge. It's not only to speak, you have to obtain evidence. This evidence, as you probably remember, can be incorporated to digital tools as digital portfolios, e-portfolios, or maybe in other kind of supports like web page, folders, or whatever you want. The third pillar is that this kind of work-based learning and activities have to be oriented to employability. That is not to pass an exam. That is for create very, very good workers. Because of that, these activities are oriented to the real job that the students will obtain in future. And in our case, because we use entrepreneurial methodologies inside the challenge, because as you probably remember, our students have to create an educative company in relationship with their student, their studies, their specialties, and because of that, is in a very close relationship with entrepreneurship education. That is the 4 that are the 4 pillars of work-based learning in relationship with challenge-based learning methodology. But if you want to design very good materials in order to obtain good activities to make work-based learning, you can follow these five very important things. Sometimes you need a very short or medium internship in relationship with the company. Sometimes it's a practicum company, or sometimes the companies come to the school in order to share the activities with the student. You need a very good apprenticeship to long-term and very high integration with the materials of the students. You also can use job shadowing in order to visit companies to take ideas to be used as work-based learning activities inside the methodology. And also, sometimes you can collaborate with real projects of the school. In our case, it's very usual because some of the projects of the school are in relationship with companies' social activities, and sometimes they use a very close collaboration with real projects of the companies. And also, they can use micro work-based learning activities inside the challenge of the challenge-based learning. This is a kind of a checklist, and what the kind of things we have to take in mind in order to design work-based learning activities in the best way we can use with students. We have to think in these five very important things. We need to think if about the evidence potentials. Does this model generate accessible output that is can be possible to assessment the evidence at the finish? Is possible because of the logistic reason, or we are going to have enough time, good partners, and it's possible because of the legal subjects. That is very important in the beginning of the design. What kind of competence does this reinforce entrepreneurial skills? The work-based learning will be useful in order to develop competence, and also we have to think in the school calendar, school activities, because sometimes the real work-based learning with companies sometimes is not possible because of the calendar of the company. And also, don't forget that we are talking about real things, about the real works. Do you have some kind of risks, any risks in the develop of the work-based learning? Because that is a real situation, is not a academic activity. This is the best way in order to obtain a very good work-based learning activity. We have to design or develop the competence. Also, you will need the workplace activities in order to be done in relationship with the company. Also, do you think you have to think in the kind of evidence you will obtain? Do you remember something about the prototypes, about the evidence that the students can obtain in the solution of the challenge, in this case, in relationship with the work activities? Sometimes you will need a assessment criteria or assessment model. One of the most typical assessment system is the creation of rubrics. It's not the only one, but it's very easy to use rubrics in order to evaluate the evidence that the students use in the develop of the work-based learning activities. And you need to think in who is going to be the person who evaluate or who validate this work-based activity. Sometimes probably you will have a doubt because sometimes the real activities is not possible to be evaluated by teachers. Sometimes yes, because our teachers are working also in companies, and from our point of view, the best teacher always is a teacher that is working in their are working in their specialties at the same times that they are teaching. But sometimes it's not possible. In other solution, sometimes we use another solution is that at the finish of the when the students present the final prototype of the final solution to the work-based activity, a kind of tribunal of the companies come to the school in order to evaluate the final solution. That is very good because it's a final activity in order to link the school, the students, and the companies. And normally in a morning, it's very possible to evaluate the solution to the work-based learning by the workers of the companies. And it's a happy day because in general, if you remember, the initial activity was created by the company, and it's very positive that in the final solution of the work-based learning activity also take part the company or the workers of the company that than in the past created the activity to be solved. These are the three parts of this very useful methodology called work-based learning. In the base, the learner is the student, is the person who is going to learn through the solution of the challenge in relationship with the company. And this is very useful for the students because it's a real situation in relationship with their future work, their future jobs, and they can learn about the real document and activities and skills they will need in future in order to be a very good worker. Also, very important, the main part of this methodology is the company. The company, through the mentoring of these workers, create the initial activity to be solved by the students, and is a very important part of this model because is the link between the real work and the school. And finally, the school, because you don't forget that this is a educative methodology, and we have to define outcomes, we have to define a model in order to evaluate the evidence, the students, also another kind of skills that the students can develop through through solving this work-based activity. And this is a very, very clear triangle in this model. With this methodology, you will need create some kind of agreement between the school, between the companies, and between the students. If you imagine the Erasmus Plus learning agreement is more or less the same, because in our case, we can provide students to European companies in order to make the practicing companies throughout 3 months, and they have to define a learning agreement. In this learning agreement is signed by the company, by the school, and also by the students. And in this document, the template you can use any model or any template you prefer, but always you will need these three very important parts. The functions of the contract for learning design, the protects alignment and inclusion rights, and you have to clarify expectations about outcomes, activities, feedback provided by the company and also by the teachers. In the template, this is a suggestion for the template you need to use in the work-based learning in relationship with the companies. Of course, you will need general info about the company, about the student, about the mentor. You will use the competence they will develop through the work-based learning methodology, the final outcomes. Also, you have to include the tasks that the students have to do along this project, the way of feedback, because you have to create a kind of a periodic feedback system, and sometimes of ethics protocols and behavior. That is very important. Don't forget that the students in this kind of methodology, sometimes they use real information of customers, of real information about workers in the company, about money, about health, in our case, because they will be in contact with clinics and hospitals, and it's very important. And it's also, I think, that the students can learn. You have to develop ethics skills in relationship with your future work. Imagine in our case, sometimes the students use very, very strategic information in order to be used out of the company. That is very important. And this is a kind of a template for you create with your students in the work-based learning activities. How is the most useful way in order to integrate the work-based learning in the school? This is the traceability. How is the best way in order to link internal and external activities in the school. In the first moment, you have to think in the workplace tasks they will do in relationship with the challenge. Also, you have to think in this in what kind of evidence the students will obtain as solution of the challenge in relationship with work-based learning. Also, this evidence have to be evaluated. How you can you evaluate this evidence? As I told you before, one of the typical ways is with rubrics. In the design of the work-based learning, you have to define a rubric criteria, and you have to communicate to all the parts, to the company, to the student. In our case, for example, we have sometimes several problems. I am going to be honest with you. When you in the same classroom have, for example, 5 group of students with different companies, but all of them have to solve similar work-based learning activities or similar challenge. Sometimes it's not the same. With the same rubrics, is not the same evaluation assessment for all the companies. They never is the same. And in this case, you have to think in the way you have to balance the difference between the assessment of a company and another one, because you don't have to forget that we are teachers and we have to be more or less balanced between the evaluation of all the students. And the final thing, you are at this part of the course, I suppose you are experts in portfolios and digital tools in order to recover or share information of the evidence of the students created in solving these activities. And portfolio location. Sometimes the portfolio is a web page, or sometimes can be a blog or a site or a website, for example, is very, very appropriate. But sometimes you can use cloud folders inside your team's organization. This is a very normal way in order to develop all the methodology. And after the design, you have to think in the feedback. The feedback, from my point of view, is one of the most important thing in the work-based learning, because if the company and the mentor make a periodic and very clear feedback to the student in the 2 or 3 initial steps of the challenge, the student can learn and can correct the initial activities and the feedback. Minimum, you need an initial feedback, a midpoint review, and a final evaluation in order to give information to the students about the develop of the work-based learning challenge. Because sometimes if you design an activity in a long term and no feedback is made by the company, by the mentors, by the teachers, the students sometimes, the most of the times, used to lose the direction of the final solution because they are not experts and they need periodic feedback in order to know how to follow with the right solution of the activity. This is more or less three ideas about experience into learning. What is the best way of this point of the work-based learning? That you learn from the experience, the real experience, working with real problems from real companies. And this is the three things that the students can make during the process. What did I learn this week? And what challenge did I face? What evidence did I produce and where is it stored? And how does this task link back to our classroom challenge rubric? For a student, if you think in three questions like this, it can be very useful linked by the solution to a work-based activity. For your practical activities, as all the weeks, I am going to suggest a kind of some rules in order to be more effective with quality assurance. When the design of the activity is in the beginning, maybe it's a very good thing to make a checklist like this in order to be used by the students. Is there a clear path from the tasks to the studies? Does the mentor know their specific duties? Is the communication schedule realistic? Are the ethic and inclusion explicitly addressed? Does the calendar work for all parties? And then, with this checklist, maybe the work-based learning activity can be used by the student in relationship with the companies. And with all these things in mind, you have all the toolkit in order to be used as work-based learning activity inside the challenge-based methodology, because you have selected a work-based model, you have a responsibility matrix with controls, with checklists, you have also a learning agreement template in order to be used by students, by companies, and by the school. You have a very good feedback plan in order to take information through the process for the students to be more safe and to change the wrong solutions to the challenge-based learning. And all of you can use this in the whole model of the education in an academic way, in a professional way, with milestones, waypoints, very easy to use and very professional. And this is the final slide of the today presentation. I am going to share with you also some other material. In the course, as always, you will have a kit. This a kit, final kit about the 2.6 activities of the course. As always in the session 1, you will have the kit in the course here. You will have here, sorry, the kit, and if you progress in the course, you can use it without problems. And as always, I suggest you to follow along this week the non-synchronous season, the mentoring and evidence season, and the alignment challenge with work-based learning methodology that you will have in the 2 season and the 3 season materials with a lot of practical info to be used with your students in the most comfortable way we can. And with this, I am going to leave my screen out, and if you have any question about the introduction, about the materials, about the work-based learning activities and materials I have shared with you, please feel free to ask me, and I'll try to answer you the best I can. Do you have any question about the work-based learning activities and the link with the challenge-based methodology? I think the most important inside the challenge-based learning methodology as ETASI, as we use in our school and in Basque Country in general, the only thing you have to be in mind is the relationship with the company. Is the company the most important part, because they suggest the activity to be solved through the challenge-based learning inside the methodology. Because of that is work-based learning. And in that process, you will need the contact with the company, sometimes in a job shadowing visit, sometimes with a talk made by the workers inside the school. And that is all. You are you have to use real activities in relationship with the specialities of the studies of the students. That's all, Silvia. If you have any question or do you need any clarification more, please tell me.
No, Rafa, thank you. Everything was very clear and very interesting as always. So thank you very much for the session.
Thank you.
So if everything is clear for everyone, because I don't think that there are questions, I haven't seen like hand raised, so let me just check the chat. But no, just like everyone is saying a good presentation, so maybe everything was very clear. So thank you all, and see you for the next session, which will be next Tuesday, which I think is the 7th of April, if I'm not wrong, at the same time. So like from 4 till 5:30, 5:30. Okay?
Okay, thank you very much, all of you, and also Sylvia, of course, for your help and your support.
Thank you, Rafa. Thank you all. See you next
Thank
week.
you.
Bye bye.
See you. Bye.
Bye
Thank
bye.
you. Bye.